Hi, everybody. I think we'll go ahead and get started. It's just a few minutes past 11 a.m. And for sake of staying on time, which is something that I'm working on with my intentions this coming year, especially as a teacher, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So for anyone that comes in a little bit later to this recording, you can always rewind get the replay and start from the beginning, catch up where you left off. The same thing goes if you have to leave during this call, feel free to leave the chat, get the recording later, and then pick up where you left off. So there's plenty of opportunity here. And if we're really in the spirit of, our energy being in the ethers, there really is no time or space continuum in the spiritual realm. So we can tap into that at any time and come right back to where we were, right back to this gathering. In this virtual circle, we will participate as though we are physically together in circle. And same thing goes for that lack of time, space, reality in the spiritual world, right? So trust that the information that's coming through to you when you're watching the recording, the circle that we are casting together, here comes my dog Luna, the circle that we're casting together now in the time-space reality at 11 a.m. on the winter solstice exists across all time constraints. So join in. The information is coming to you and through you exactly when you need it and where you need it. I think I might need to close the door so that Luna can't distract. Oh, there she goes. She's a good girl. Got the family out of the house, which was no small feat on a busy Saturday. And I'm sure when you're watching this call or joining us live that you feel me on that one. So we're going to take a few moments to ground down today before we join in to the circle. And I want to give you a rundown of how I normally run the circle, a little bit about the winter solstice, and then we will begin about an hour-long practice. So let me grab some notes here. And you'll see me move my computer in and out depending on what we're doing in the moment. I've got a little altar behind me. I'm sitting on my yoga mat, so we'll move in and out, and I will check the chat periodically if someone comes in and has some questions. So for today, we'll go over a little bit about the history of the winter solstice and what it has meant for really our connection with nature and our understanding of the physical world of, really the cycle of the year, the wheel of the year. So winter solstice is also known as Yule on the wheel of the year. It also marks the first official day of the winter season, as well as the longest, darkest night of the year. So tonight, just past about 8 p.m. Pacific time, we will officially enter the winter solstice, and the winter solstice will end tomorrow morning. So aside from this practice, something that you can do is to simply go out today with the setting sun and witness the sun setting, witness the sun dying in this reflection. And then tomorrow morning, greet the sun. And this is a practice that has been used for centuries in different places around the world. There's actually a belief that the sun dies tonight and then is reborn tomorrow for this new year of life. It's the beginning of the wheel of the year. The wheel of the year, if you see behind me, I have a beautiful wreath. And the wheel of the year is actually what the wreath is symbolic of. There is no beginning and no end. The wreath is also symbolic of the goddess and reflective of the female menstrual cycle, which also has no beginning and no end. So as we start to tap into the symbolism around the holidays, the wreath, the wheel of the year, the winter solstice, we can really begin to tap into our own nature as humans and our connection to spirit, our connection to our ancestors, our connection to the elements that are around us. And I encourage you at any time to tap into those elements. Today specifically, we're going to be working with the element of fire, which is represented with our star soul, which is the sun, and we'll be practicing honoring this time where the sun essentially dies and then experiences a rebirth tomorrow morning. During the winter solstice, we have an opportunity to face more of our internal awareness. Our intuition is heightened greatly during the winter season, during the new moon, and especially during the winter solstice. So I will be gently guiding you to a place where you can tap more into that internal knowing, that inner guidance, your intuition, so that you can start the new year and the rebirth of the solar year with just pure intention and clarity and focus. We're also actually entering into Capricorn season tonight, which is the sun sign that is actually really great for focus and clarity and putting action, structured and focused action or aligned action to your desires. So all these lessons that we've been learning throughout the year, they've all culminated now into the fall. As we enter winter, we're getting more and more clarity on what we need to weed out, bring in. And with that and the energy of Capricorn and the rebirth of the sun, we're able to hit the new year with that focus and really create more of our life by design. Instead of letting life happen to us, we're able to allow ourselves to be really co-creators in the process. A few other notes that I wanted to make about the winter solstice. So yes, all over the world, there are ancient traditions and cultures and religions that all have honored this time of year, the winter solstice, as well as the summer solstice and the two equinoxes. The reason that you might find that in pretty much every culture, to the beginning of time and all these different synergies that are happening between religions and whether they're pagan or, Christianity and so forth, you have these similarities in these times of year that celebrations are taking place. So the solstices are simply the days where the sun stands still. That's what the translation of the word solstice is. So we have the longest day of the year, which is the summer solstice, and then we have the longest night of the year in the winter solstice. The sun stands still. The equinoxes are the spring and the fall equinoxes, and equinox simply translates to equal nights. So those equinoxes are markers where the day and the night are of equal length. And all of these dates became part of how our ancient civilizations and our ancestors who didn't have a clock, didn't have a calendar, they weren't able to, Google phone like, hey, what day is it? When is the winter solstice? What is, is it a full moon, whatever, they would really mark their life, their existence by the positioning of the sun, the length of the days and the nights, the positioning of the moon. So the more that we can tap into that in our modern lives, we can really connect to this internal knowing and this connection to nature, to God, to, really whatever that is that brings you that sense of connection and just really a meaning to this realm. So that's a little bit of an overview. If you have more questions, there's great information online, and you can also text me or send me a DM. I'm going to open the circle today together, and then we'll roll into some gentle breath work that's focused on tapping into your intuition. From the breath work, we'll move into a gentle yoga practice, which is also aligned to both ground you and connect you to your intuition, and it will be a gentle practice. And I know there's at least one goddess that's going to be joining us that just had a baby a few days ago, so Goddess Mama, please move gently or simply choose to stay in a reclined, supported posture as opposed to taking part in all of the movements this early in your postpartum. After our yoga, and we'll be tapped in and aligned to those yummy energies, then we're going to roll into our winter solstice meditation, which I will guide you through. And through that meditation, we will be given some journaling prompts. So we'll take those in internally, and you'll have opportunity to write them down when we have completed the meditation. And then if you'd like to express them to the group, you're more than welcome to do so. There will be space for that. So, and I'm going to sip my lion's mane elixir. Got the sage burning behind me too. Check it out. Thing is on fire. Okay, so let's all join in circle. I'm going to close my eyes. I encourage you to do the same. And I'll take you through a gentle visualization as we open. So closing the eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Noticing your sits bones rooting into the floor. Consciously bring your spine into a straighter alignment. As you root down, feel the crown of your head reaching high up towards the sky. And I invite you to now visualize a bright golden white light, your own personal crown, gently floating above your head. And as you take a deep breath in, allow that light to infiltrate every cell of your body, filling each and every crevice, corner, memory with this divine, golden, bright light. And now we'll gather that bright light with our next big inhale and bring that energy into our heart space. And as you exhale, feel that light gather into your heart and send that light out through your arms, out through your hands, creating a visual of a golden dome. And this dome represents the shape of the circle, no endings, no beginnings. And see yourself inside of this dome, feeling the presence of the other women also creating this space with us here and now, the sacred container for which we can dive further into our inner guidance and our inner truth. You can see that light below your body, below your feet, casting around you, forming this beautiful, protective, sacred bubble. And let's take a deep breath in together, culminating that loving, bright light energy into our hearts. And exhaling as we send more of that light into the sacred dome, filling the space with tiny sparkles of golden, warm light. Our own magic fairy dust, if you will. And from this space, we call in the four elements: air to bring change, water to nourish us and help us flow with life, fire to transform us, to help us see the truth, and earth to ground us, to help us find roots, to help provide us with senses of safety in this vast physical world. We call in the energy of our ancestors and our own maternal lineage. I call in the ancestors of the sacred land of which we live upon, recognizing that it is not my own, but it is borrowed. And we ask for the spirit guides of the highest good and intention to join with us in our virtual circle now, to help us dive deeper into our own inner guidance. Those sacred messages that are being sent to us at all times, may we open to them and receive. And allowing the sound of the singing bowl to shift our vibration, to bring us into more alignment with the universal language of sound. You can bow your chin towards your chest, blink your eyes open, And then slowly take in the space. Okay. So now we'll move into some gentle breath work in preparation for our yoga practice, all designed to help us ground and tap into our intuition. So find a seated position again if you'd like. It's always nice to have the knees below the hips. So I'll sit on the bolster. You can sit on a pillow, in a chair, but the idea is to feel secure in your lower body so that you can bring your spine into alignment without stressing. So there's that gripping going on, and we want to be able to just relax into it. So I'll guide you through some breath work. What I'd love to focus on are two things. So first is going to be the sensation of grounding into the earth. So we can do that simply by sensing the connection and having that proprioceptivity of our physical body touching the earth, feeling safe, feeling grounded. Our focal point for the meditation is going to be Ajna, the third eye chakra, which is the sixth chakra that's connected to our intuition and our inner guidance. So I'll guide you through a simple breathwork practice, and in your mind's eye, you will be focusing on this area between the eyebrows, which is an area of perceived darkness. But within this perceived darkness lies so much truth. And so as we focus more and more on Ajna, the third eye chakra, the sixth chakra, we are able to tap more and more into that internal knowing. So let me guide you through a few things, and then we'll move our bodies a little bit. So coming to a gentle seated position, feeling the sits bones and the pubic bone equally. If they were forming a triangle, we have our pubic bone here, our sits bones here. We want those to be evenly set on the ground. So it's almost really that, it's a sacred portal right there. That's our connection from our physical body going into the ground and rooting down. So I want you to feel that. I want you to bring your shoulders back just ever so slightly, opening up the collarbone. We don't need to jet out, but just imagine as though there's a string along your collarbone and it's going straight out to the side. So opening up the heart space in the collarbone and then gently guiding these ribs down, you'll find that we can keep our spine in a bit straighter of alignment. The more that we can put our physical bodies into alignment, we can help our energetic bodies come into alignment too. So hands can be on your lap. You can use a mudra if you like. Often you'll see the thumb and the pointer finger coming together, or you can use the thumb and the middle finger to tap more into the divine feminine energy. So it's something that I like to do. So I'll be using this mudra, and hands are going to be placed upward on my lap. Just bat your eyes closed again. And take a deep breath in. And sigh it out. Letting it all go. And sealing the lips, begin to breathe more deeply into your body, sending the energy down the spine. And as you exhale, send the air right back up to the third eye chakra, the area between the eyebrows. And keep your internal gaze here as we breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Keep the sits bones rooted as you breathe in. Keep the crown tall as you breathe out. Gaze is on the third eye. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we'll begin with a longer exhale. So breathe in with me. Breathe out. And breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Gaze on the third eye. Breathe in and out. And in and out. Spine tall. Breathe in and out. And return to even deep breathing. And focusing on the third eye chakra, Ajna, the darkness between your two eyebrows, the place of all knowing. And take a big breath in with me. And sigh it all out. You may have begun to feel your spine undulating from side to side. And that is your physical body coming more and more into alignment with its source. And take note of that as you bow your chin towards your chest. And blink your eyes open. And come on back to this space. Let's do about 10 to 15 minutes of gentle yoga, and then we'll move into our winter solstice meditation. So bear with me as I move my laptop to a better location. How's that? It should be pretty good. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll do this instead. Sorry, guys. There, that's better. We can take this little kids building block out of the way. All right. Okay. So if you have your yoga mat, great. It's always nice to practice on the mat, and that in and of itself becomes a place of grounding and connection, just having your own energetic imprint on your mat. So if you have that, great. If not, no worries. This practice is gentle enough where we don't need to worry too much about slipping and sliding and gripping. So let's begin. Come on down to your knees. And this will just be a gentle yoga practice. Again, if you're recently postpartum within the last couple of weeks, I would recommend restricting the movements to seated postures and no deep back bends or deep abdominal, any kind of abdominal movements, but really just feeling more into the breath of the yoga and slow intentional movements. So coming on to our knees, bringing our hands to our chest. Let's inhale as we reach our arms up overhead. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And let's continue to have our drishti, our focus on our third eye chakra. Even if the eyes are open, we can still bring our energy and our gaze internally towards this place. And then one more time, just slow inhale. Exhale, and now let's pick it up quickly. So inhale, 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 and down. I'm going to turn to the side. Stay where you are. Let's bring our hands to our heart center and let's acknowledge the inner light that is within our hearts. By doing that, we're going to bring our head closer to our heart in a simple bow movement. So let's inhale together and gently bow forward. And inhale, recognizing that connection to God and that light within you. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And now let's reach our arms out into a child's pose. Find a comfortable child's pose and just rest your third eye right onto the floor. Making the connection between your third eye, feeling it physically on the outside of your body, you can sense this energy here. And then slowly return upward to a tabletop position. And join me for a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling, we're going to shine our heart forward, lift the chin up towards the sky, belly drops towards the floor. And exhaling, as you push the earth away, show your heart to the sky. And inhaling, pulling the heart forward, peekaboo. Exhale, push the earth away, heart to the sky. One more like that. And now from our cat position, we're going to push the earth away, rock into tabletop, and then bring one knee forward into lunge. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, opposite knee and foot come forward into a lunge. Exhale, return into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, transition into a low lunge. Exhale, bring it back to the earth, and inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, opposite leg comes forward into a lunge, warming up the hips. Our second chakra, the womb wisdom. And drop into child's pose. Touch your third eye onto the mat. Connecting to your wisdom. And returning to tabletop pose. We're going to take one leg, for me it's my right leg, and we're going to lift it up directly behind us. And now we're going to bow forward from this position 7 times, bringing our head below our heart. So we're going to do this at a moderate pace, so follow along on your own pace. So inhale here, exhale, bow, and repeat. Gaze is on the third eye, bringing the head below the heart, bringing the heart wisdom to our minds, helping us tap into our intuition. And release and send the opposite leg back. For me, it's my left. Turn those hips down. And we'll begin again. So take a nice big inhale and then drop to the earth. And release. And coming again into a seated position, forward, and face you. Just begin to feel the energy as it's traveling upwards in your body. So as we maintain the connection to the earth with our feet, with our sits bones, with our legs, with our roots, our root chakra, we can start to build our energy upwards and connect more with the higher chakras, our intuition, and the space between our eyebrows. So just take a note of how you feel your energy. If it's feeling a little bit more elevated, that is what we are working towards here. So let's do a different bow. I'm going to turn the other way. Similar to us bowing from a prayer position, we're now going to take our arms, we're going to clasp them behind our back. Any grip is fine. And open up the heart center. And from here, we're going to take a deep breath in, and then we're going to bow forward. So inhaling and bow. Allow the tips of your forehead to touch the earth. Two more. And release. Hands to heart center. And join me for a gentle hip opening butterfly pose. I like to take this posture very feminine and make circles with my hips and my body. So from this posture, we're helping open up the womb wisdom, the wisdom that resides in our hips, in our reproductive organs, and all the space that lies in between. Also connecting to the energy of water, the element of water, and the concept of flow, which helps us just find more fluidity in our lives, allows us to go more with the flow, let go of resistance. And then from here, let's raise our arms up, overhead, let them touch, and up. Where my fellow tight hip people at, and up. And release, and up. And down, and third eye gaze. And now let's speed that up 7 times. And awesome. So grab your knees in towards your chest. We're going to warm up our solar plexus, which is our 3rd chakra, and tap more into that clarity and that discipline and that sense of purpose and knowing that resides in our 3rd chakra, the Manipura chakra. So in a gentle form of Navasana boat pose, I'll have you put your feet onto the floor, spread your toes wide, feel your sits bones rooting into the earth, and sit up tall. Chest is going to be reaching towards the sky, heart open, draw your shoulders back. And simply from here, we're going to lift our arms up and just drop a few inches. If you really want a physical challenge, you feel free to lift your legs up and go into full boat pose, but we don't have to do the more strenuous version to tap into the energy of the posture. So I'll be doing the modification here, and we're simply going to drop a few inches back and come up, back and come up, back, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, chest tall, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and release. And taking a moment to ground here, we can just extend our legs out, feel our sits bones touching the floor, making connection between our yoni and the earth. Bowing your chin towards your chest, swing your legs around. What I'm going to have you do is take your knees. I'm going to bend the right leg. Actually, you're opposite me, so bend the right leg, bring it in. And then take the left leg and bring it over the top. I am very tight hip yogi, so no judgment. We're going to move into Garandasana, which is a very internal pose. So with the knees stacking, you can take your heels and either bring them closer to your body to make it easier, or if you're very flexible, you can move your shins out to parallel. And find the rooting on the ground again. We don't want one hip up just so we can get our knee around. So make sure those two sits bones and the pubic bone are evenly pressured onto the floor. And then from here, we're going to take our arms up overhead. We're going to swoop our arms down and take I guess this would be your right arm, and bring it around, wrapping around the left. So with this posture, what we are doing is we're taking our energy and we're bringing it inward. So a lot of our life, we're out and we're open and we're out and we're exposing ourselves to the world energetically as well. With this pose, we want to wrap ourselves back in, and feel that inward internal knowing. So join me here, and then you can lift your arms up if you like and touch your thumb to the third eye chakra, Agna, right between the eyebrows. And just hold here. And feel the back of the heart opening as the energy comes inward. Feel the touch of your thumb on the third eye chakra, awakening this place of intuition and knowing. And take a nice inhale here. And exhale as you release the arms, release the legs. Maybe give them a little shake out. I'm going to pull our knees back into our chest and do the opposite. So whichever knee was on first last time, we're going to switch that out. Finding the same posture. So bending the opposite knee, bringing the heel close to your bum, bringing the other knee towards your chest, looping it on top of the opposite knee into Garandasana. Okay, so from here, finding the sits bones, rooting back onto the floor. Again, if you're flexible, you can bring your shin bones into parallel with the mat. But if you're like me, super tight hipped yogi, you can bring your heels in towards your hip, closer towards your hips. Rooting down into the floor. Taking the arms up overhead and swooping the opposite arm up and over into eagle arms. And it's okay if one side's tighter than the other. In this posture, not only are we bringing our gaze internal and our energy internal, but we are also assisting with opening up the energy of our hips, which is the womb wisdom, and where so much of our wisdom and intuition comes from as women with our menstrual cycles, and even as those cycles are completed into the years of menopause. So bringing your thumb towards the third eye chakra, Agnya, awakening this place of intuition and knowing, rooting down into the earth with the sits bones, relaxing into the hips and the pelvis. And feeling the heart space, the back of your heart opening behind you, releasing and letting go of the past year, of anything that no longer serves you. Let it go. And take a big inhale. And exhale as you release the arms, unwind the legs, give them a nice little shake out. From here, we're simply going to come into our seated position, and I'm going to move my setup back. There we go. Okay. So, oops, you can't see me. And a lot of views, different views of me today. Here we go. That's better. So, hi everybody. Thank you for letting me guide you through the gentle yoga movements. And now I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. Again, you can see that I'm sitting on a yoga bolster, and you can sit on a pillow, a yoga block. So you could sit in a chair, have your feet grounded to the earth. It's really up to you. As we participate in our virtual circle today, I'd like to invite you to bring in the own 4 elements into your home. I have water filled with lavender, thyme, sage, and mint. Lavender to bring happiness for the year, mint to help rid of dark spirits, negative energy, thyme for courage, sage for purification, some white sage here, providing a cleansing water for us. We brought in the element of fire with a lit candle. I brought in the element of earth with some crystals. This is an Amazon crystal. It is an amethyst crystal. And I also have the element of air, which is symbolized through the smoke of the sage, as well as a feather to help move the air. Simple ways that you can set an altar up at home and have the elements and the energy of them to tap into at any time. So I'd like to guide you into a quiet space, an internal space, where you can tap more into the inner wisdom, the lessons that we've learned throughout the past year, and the wisdom that comes with the rebirth of the sun tonight and tomorrow morning. So the key here is to stay comfortable. If you do have a journal, this would be a good time to have it close by. What I will do is guide you through this meditation. I will provide questions and prompts during the meditation. And then after the meditation closes, I will repeat those prompts to you so that you can write them down in your journal and use that. We'll have a few minutes to scribe out what came to you, and then you can take those prompts into the next day, 12 hours or so, and just really sit with them and feel what's coming to you. So let me just check the time real quick. Okay, 15 minutes. Perfect. Yay, trying to stay on time. For those ladies in my moon circle that were like, can you please keep to the time next year? I'm really working on it, I promise. Okay. So let's take a deep breath in together. Find the place of quiet reflection within you. If you'd like, you can choose a mantra with your hands. Again, I like to use a mantra that calls in the feminine wisdom, and that is by touching the tips of your middle finger and your thumb together and placing them upwards on your thighs. So inhaling and exhaling. Just grounding back down into the space. In your mind's eye, the place of your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, I want you to imagine as though we've gone back in time. You find yourself walking amongst the valley and noticing that the life cycles of plants, animals, coming to an end. The crops of the year have been harvested. Animals that cannot make it through winter have been slaughtered turned into feast, all with the sense of knowing that for a few short months there will be a famine. The days have gotten colder, the nights have gotten longer. And you find yourself wandering out of the valley towards the hill, following the sun. Where is he going? You notice the brown hillsides around you now starting to be covered with snow. Leaves that have fallen off trees, leaving black trunks and limbs. Sharp contrast. As you begin to journey up this hill, walking towards the mountains in search of the sun, perhaps if you just get to the top of the mountain, you'll find it. And so you're walking, journeying, and you come across a vast forest filled with trees that are still green. And you notice that they're so full of life. This forest that is surrounded by rich brown trunks and beautiful evergreen leaves is bringing you such comfort, knowing that there still is this life force energy. And you begin to see the spiritual significance of these evergreen trees reminding you of life. And you keep walking through the forest and up the mountain, searching for the sun. Where did he go? As you come out of the green forest, the land becomes barren once again. You can see the sun off in the horizon. You're chasing it and chasing it and chasing it until a tiny spark of light appears and the sun begins to disappear into the dark sky over the horizon. You start to hear this noise of a beating drum, and you suddenly realize that you're in a dark cave. Despite the darkness, you feel a sense of comfort, a sense of knowing, and you begin to see that the area that you were looking for the sun, there is now a tiny light glowing off in the distance. And you walk closer to this light through the dark chambers of this cave, and you realize that the beating of the drum is actually the beating of your very own heart. And this light represents the light inside of you that never goes out, the light that is connected to your highest truth, the light that shares all of your wisdom and connects you to your ancestors, to God, to source energy, the creator. And you look beyond this light, and staring back at you is the highest version of yourself. And as you look across the light towards the highest version of yourself, you ask, what lessons has this year of life brought forth for me? What lessons has this year of life brought forth for me? Allow the answers to come to you in words, pictures, images, sounds, tingling sensations in your physical body. What lessons has this year of life brought forth? Making a mental note of the answers you received. What relationships have come in and out of my life this year? What relationships have come in and out of my life this year? How has this served me? What inner strengths have you recognized in yourself this year? Looking into the eyes of your highest self beyond this flame of knowing, what inner strengths have you recognized this year? What are you being called into now? And remember, there's no right or wrong, simply a knowing, a feeling inside your heart. What are you being called into now? In other words, what is your inner guidance telling you and urging you towards now? And what can you bring into your energy and your life and your being that will propel you towards this? What can you bring into your life that will propel you towards this? This could be actions, it could be characteristics, traits, lifestyle, anything. From here, what are your truest intentions for the coming year? What are your truest intentions for the coming year? If you could pick just one intention, what is that intention telling you? If you could pick just one intention, what is that intention telling you? And as you hear the sound of your beating heart echoing in the chambers, beyond the light, you suddenly hear the beating of the heart as a distant beating of the drum. And suddenly you find yourself back on top of the vast mountain, gazing towards the east, The sun begins to peek up over the horizon, reborn, new life. As you stare into the sun, you feel the sense of warmth, of safety, of connection, trust. And with this gratitude, you begin to walk back down the mountain, through the evergreen forest. And as you clear the evergreen forest, you realize that there is a mixture of death and rebirth all around you. There's grass coming up on the hillsides amongst branches that have fallen off of trees. And as you walk closer and closer towards your home in the valley, you see signs of new life popping up everywhere. New growth in plants, baby animals being born, and the reassurance that life really is a cycle. And slowly bring your attention back into your physical body here and now, wiggling your fingers and toes, feeling the sensation of air touching your skin, recognizing the noises around you. And rub your hands together, activating all the nerve endings in your body, waking up. And from that warm, place them over your eyes. If you'd like, you can use your fingers to touch the third eye, experiencing the sense of darkness, connection to your internal wisdom and truth. And slowly blink your eyes open into your fingers, allowing the light to slowly come back in. So I'd like to give you now the journal prompts so that you can write them in your journal and use these as your guide today, tonight, and into the new year. So again, I'll read them to you. The first was, what lessons has this year of life brought you? What lessons has this year of life brought you? What relationships have come in or out of your life? What relationships have come in and out of your life? And remember that in our lives, we have a relationship with every single thing in our lives. So this is not only people, partnerships, friendships, family, but this is also our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our finances, our relationship with spirituality and personal growth, our relationship with our careers, our work, our relationship with anything really. It could be our relationship with a drum, our relationship with tea or coffee or wine. So there's so many things that you can dive into there. So whatever's calling to you in that meditation, or you repeat this practice, let it come and let it be your truth. Next question, what inner strengths have you recognized this year? What inner strengths have you recognized this year? What are you being called into now? What are you being called into now? So what is your inner guidance urging you towards? What is your inner guidance telling you to do? And that could even just be rest, like rest, it will come later. It could be take action in a specific way. So whatever's coming towards you, trust that that is your truth. What are you being called into now? What can you bring into your life, your energy or your being, that will propel you towards this? So essentially, what can you embody to help you achieve what you're being called towards? So what can you bring into your life, your energy or your being, that will propel you towards this? What are your truest intentions for the coming year? So what are you being called into? What do you need to bring into your life in order to make that your reality? And then what are your truest intentions for the coming year? Those intentions will help you embody that which you need to embody in order to bring into life that which you need to are being called into action. So what are your truest intentions for the coming year? Your core desires. And then of those intentions, what is calling you out the most? What is calling you the most? Can you pick just one intention that really sums up how you want to feel and how you want to embody yourself in this life for the coming year? Of those intentions, what is calling you the most? Check the time here. Over the fire. Okay. Hey, if you have any questions on the journal prompts that I get like tongue twisted, I'm in my intuitive mode. If you have any questions on the prompts or you'd like me to type those out for you, just send me a message on DM or send me an email, and I'd be happy to send those over to you if you didn't get a chance to write them fully down. We're going to go ahead and close the circle today on the winter solstice. And as we close in the circle, I'd like you to bring your intention inward, visualize that beautiful golden protective sacred dome that we created together at the beginning of this live call. And as we close in that energy, we're going to surround ourselves and infuse that protective light into our bodies, that just beautiful warm energy as we move forward here with the beginning of winter and the beginning of Capricorn season. So before we do that, I love at the end of all of my client one-on-ones, group chats, group events, I love pulling a card. So I have with me today the Moonology Oracle cards. And these are pretty straightforward and fun, but they've been sitting here on the altar throughout this entire call. So trust that if you're watching this recording or you're participating in this live, that whatever card is being pulled for the collective energy of this group, of this call. So as we're going into tonight, into the winter solstice itself, let's ask the cards, ask our inner guidance to come through the cards and tell us, what is it that we need to know right now? What is the information that we need to know right now? What do we need to hear from our ancestors, from our spirit guides at the highest good and intention? So I see there's a card that's really calling out to me, and it's going to be this one right here. So let's see what it says. Ooh, this is kind of fun. It says a win-win outcome is forecast. So that's the full moon in Libra sign. A win-win outcome is forecast. So let's look that up real quick. Ooh, interesting. It says the full moon in Libra, and again, we do not have a full moon in Libra right now, but the energy of the full moon in Libra is the energy of the card that has been pulled. It says the full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start new relationships, or that an important existing relationship is now changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that we need to balance our egos with someone else's needs. Interesting. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. The mantra for this card is let go of that which is falling away. And as I come across that, I feel like that is, in and of itself, is really the crux of why this card was pulled. When I read the descriptions, I usually get a sensation of which part is most accurate for that card reading in the question that was asked. So the mantra says, let go of that which is falling away, which is perfect for the winter solstice. As the sun sets tonight, it is symbolic of an energetic death. And tomorrow, as the winter solstice comes to an end, December 22nd, the sun rises again, is reborn, and we're making way for that new life to come to us. So let's sit with that. And then the teaching says, no matter when you pull this card, it encourages you to find balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Great. You can hear my dog sneezing. So again, if you want to see that card, it says a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra, and the energetic pulse that I get from this card is that it is time to let things go tonight that are no longer serving you, so you can make room for the new and that rebirth energy that's coming tomorrow morning. Super exciting. Okay, my loves, let's go ahead and close the circle. I'll guide you through that and then we'll close. So bringing your eyes to a close, your gaze internal towards the third eye chakra, Ajna. Take a deep breath in with me. Let it out. And from the location of the third eye, visualizing the sacred golden protective dome of light that surrounds each and every one of us participating in this call. And feel the warmth of that light as you let that energy infuse your body, infuse your cells, assisting you to find courage, happiness, protection, and new life coming into the new year. We thank the four elements for joining us today, the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. And we thank our ancestors, our own maternal lineage, and the ancestors of the sacred land of which we live upon, for joining us energetically in our circle, for helping us find more of the internal wisdom that we all have access to, yet need opportunities to open up to. And we thank our spirit guides of the highest good and intention for guiding us as well. We ask for blessings this dark night into the new year, and we ask that this new year brings us trinkets of joy, happiness, new life, opportunities for growth, real connection to not only ourselves and our loved ones, but to our intuition and the deep sense of knowing. May we continue to guide our life in more connection with source energy. Bringing the hands to the heart, recognizing that divine light within you that is within each and every one of us. Lifting the thumb to the third eye, Agnya. Namaste. Amen. Aho. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me in this call today. And I wish you just the most blessed holiday week and coming into the new year. Reach out to me anytime on Instagram at Mama Manifest, or send me an email, kira@mamamanifest.com. I look forward to more offerings with all of you this year, both in person and in the ethers. And if you have any questions about this ritual today, let me know. I'm happy to chat with you one-on-one. Take care. Bye now.